It's 7 o'clock. Let's start the meeting, the Town of Pelham meeting, Monday, December 6th, with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Same place it always is, Tom.
That was the full version, not raised.
I'll never live
Short
it down.
Abbreviated.
I'll never live it down. I apologize to the whole town that I left the line out.
Well, you really got to apologize to me because I thought I had a stroke.
I'm sorry. I left the
And
line
I says,
out.
I just lost that.
And the poor Boy Scouts who were staring me in the face going, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, God.
Okay, we're going to open up a public hearing right now on the budget for 2022. If anybody doesn't have a copy of the budget, it's sitting right there. The budget as currently up for approval is an increase in the budget by tax of 1.746. It includes cost of inflation raises for most employees of 4%, which is the highest we've done in, I guess, maybe 8, 9, 10 years.
10 years.
10 years. I would like to open up the discussion. Does anybody have any questions from the board regarding the budget at this time? Anybody? Okay, I open it up to the public. Anybody have any questions about the budget from the public?
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's so small, but I had noticed on page 3,
My salary?
yes, strike the whole thing. It's like 1330.407 this training. It's just $300, but I had in my notes that we had removed it, and I know you're trying to cut every penny, Dan, and I don't know if anybody else had that in their notes. I just happened to catch that.
I will say, we have not done training for the tax office in quite a while, but they are getting a new system in there, and there may be a need for it. It is minimal, it's not really gonna
minimal.
change.
I know, okay, that's,
So maybe we should leave it.
Okay.
Yes, including you guys, yes, we did it, yes, we did it. No, we did it. We did it.
Do I have a motion to approve the 2022 budget for the town of Pelham?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you very much. Thank you, Ruth Ann. Thank you, Sam, for working on this, and thank you, the board, for working on this.
It just depends
I think it was a
on what the
collaborative
decides to get
process,
people.
and I appreciate it. Do I have a motion to close the public meeting regarding the budget?
I think he had a discussion with the law.
I asked for a public hearing.
He did have
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we close the public meeting. Thank you. Okay, so tonight, we have the people at the bar in the back. This is where is the good part of the meeting, where you're recognizing people. And what we're trying to do here is, we have promotions going on tonight.
First you have to.
Motion to open the legislature.
Motion to call, to open the meeting. Do I have a motion to open the meeting?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Gotta be legal.
Does that solve the problem?
Thank you.
Okay, so tonight we have the constables here. We have Mike Farley. Mike, why don't you raise your hand? We have Robert Iaboni, why don't you raise your hand? And we have Tony Comadella. Okay. Tonight, we're going to have promotions at the constable level. Mike Farley, who was appointed as a Pelham Police Constable in 2008. That means he's been here longer than you and I.
I know.
Not you.
Not me.
Okay? Later, he became supervisor of traffic court on Wednesday morning. He is currently the training officer for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. In 2012, he was given a citation for meritorious service for his outstanding service. He currently serves as lieutenant and past captain of the Tarrytown Volunteer Ambulance Corps and has received numerous life-saving awards from the Westchester Regional Service Council. He attended Pelham Elementary Schools and graduated from Pelham High School. He has served the community as a Pelham Manor volunteer firefighter, Pelham PTA Safe Routes to School Committee member, and former member of the Pelham Civic Association. He was promoted to Detective Constable in 2007 and then promoted Detective Sergeant in 2014. Tony currently works in the operation management and personal security profession. Tony. How are you?
I, Anthony Camarella,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United
and
States
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of Lieutenant Constable.
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of Lieutenant Constable.
It's your problem now, Steve. Thank you. Thank you. Steve. For people who don't know, Steve has been the chief since when?
March of 2020.
Yes, the lieutenant. Since March of 2020. You've been on the constable force for how long? 30 years.
Yeah, he beat me.
And me.
And Rudy.
30 years.
Wow.
And Steve has been, with Kristen and I, he's been always available whenever we need to call him to get something done, whenever we need to find out if we're doing what we should be doing or what we shouldn't be doing. Steve always has some very good counsel, and I appreciate all the work you've done.
Does he have to
Thank
be
you.
sworn in, or was he sworn in already? Were you sworn in already?
I'm
Oh,
not
I
sure.
don't know.
No.
Did we
No,
ever
I'm not
swear
sure
him
you
in?
are.
Because
Not
that
as
was in
the
the
chief?
middle
No,
of,
not as a chief.
that was
Okay.
in the middle of
Okay,
COVID.
doesn't
Correct.
make all the
Wow.
things. I forgot that.
Good pick, good catch, Rudy.
Yes.
Okay. I,
Card at least, you have yours, right?
Yes, Steve.
That's all right. That's okay. He's got it.
if you want his money.
You saw that, right?
I
Steve Conley,
will support the Constitution of the United States
will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of Chief of the Constables of Pelham.
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of Chief of the Town of Pelham Constable.
Thank you very much.
Good job, Steve, good
Too late,
Yeah,
though,
it was
it
right,
was
right
already.
when COVID started,
They
that's
can,
right.
Yeah.
they can amend it, but
job. Hasn't been a peep
Ah,
at them
what?
since he.
Now you're gonna argue with me?
no. We have something
No.
to discuss later on about library.
Okay. If a lot of people might not know what the constables do.
And he was right.
The constables
We can't go by
take
that.
care of the courts, the constable do the prison transfers and everything and like that. They literally run the courts, and the judges depend on them completely. We depend on them to take care of things that we have to do, like the tree lighting and like the Hanukkah lighting and so on and so forth. But we also depend on them to do the Glover Field. And the Glover Field thing, as Steve will tell you, is not an easy thing to do because it's in the middle of the afternoon. And it's a part-time position for these guys. They all have their own jobs, their own families that they take care of. But they've done a tremendous job of taking care of that area. And I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.
I've probably gotten abused a few times for it too, I'm sure.
We've been here since 1944. Yes.
Oh, constable since 1944, right, I know.
That definitely beat you.
We were air raid wardens
It
back
beat
then.
my birth, Dan.
Thank you very much again, we appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Okay, and before you leave, this is out of order, but does everybody know the date of the holiday party, the town's holiday party?
December 14th.
December 14th, 4 o'clock at Sergio's.
Next Tuesday.
Yes. Okay?
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, thank you.
Congratulations, guys.
Well, we have a couple of.
All right. We couldn't do a lot of things without the constables, believe me. Okay. Approval of the minutes. Did everyone got the minutes? I know that.
Yes.
Yes.
There was one clarification that I sent to Molly and Antoinette about the vote not being unanimous on the approval of the minutes. Is anybody else have anything they want to, first of all, I have to ask, do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second? Second?
Second.
All right, discussion.
I had just added some tiny bit of clarification on the date change or the unusual date for January meeting being the second Monday. I think we were saying because it was just right after the holidays.
Year.
I'm thinking for posterity purposes, somebody might look back and go, why the heck was that the, second Monday out of the blue? But we
Yeah.
talked about it for 2 seconds, I think. And,
I added that in.
oh, okay. Oh, you did?
I
Okay,
did,
great.
yeah.
Then we're done.
Any other comments on the meeting?
No, only to say that the minutes are so easy to read now
Yes.
and so easy to follow. So I appreciate your hard work because we can get wordy, so I know it's tough, but I really appreciate your hard work in making it concise and to the point.
Very good.
Anyone else?
That's why she's my favorite.
Are we all in favor of passing the minutes?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Thank you. Okay. Committee reports, Deputy Supervisor Zemansky, fly car.
Yes. 1 second. For the month of November, there were 39 calls in Pelham, 25 calls in Pelham Manor, 5 calls on the Hutchinson River Parkway. The backup for the fly car was 6 minutes and 43 seconds, and 55% of the calls were answered in 6 minutes and under. So, it's fairly standard for what our numbers are. I did want to tell you that I got a phone call last week from my new liaison at the fire department, who's, of course I'm blocking his name right now.
Frank Bellantoni.
Thank you, Frankie Bellantoni. I
Are you
keep
guys
calling him
listening?
Frankie because I've known him since he was a little kid. And he did discuss with me that the hutch is going to be closed, completely closed, on December 11th through December 13th, north and southbound, which to him caused a problem for our emergency response, and he was 100% correct. So he reached out to Empress, and they're gonna give us a dedicated ambulance for the whole
They're very good
weekend.
to us.
Without any charge. So there will be a dedicated ambulance for Pelham, so there will be no problem on the hutch going between the two villages, or they'll have to find their way, God forbid they have to go to a hospital, they'll have to figure out how to go, but they will give us an ambulance, okay? It's worked out very well with Frankie, he has the time and the energy, and he's actually crunching some of his own numbers so that we can compare what the Pelham numbers are with Empress numbers, just to have check and balance, which I think is a great idea. So he's got a lot of energy, and it's a pleasure to work with him. So. Any other questions on the ambulance?
Can I add something to that?
Of course.
Phil DeSimone and I had a conversation on the vehicles and where we are on the vehicles.
With the new flag?
The new fly car, and all of the quotes have come in, and it's being worked on as we speak. We're hoping to see the fly car sometime in January. The additions ended up costing $49,000, and we're within the budget that Senator Biaggi gave us for the fly car, so we're looking forward to receiving that sometime in
Good, then we
January.
can give them back their loaner, which, again, they haven't charged us an extra penny for either. One thing Scott did tell me that I never thought, he said that COVID has affected them a great deal also because they can't recruit. So if they're losing people, they can't find anybody to fill those spots. And I think it's the nature of the job itself, maybe, you know, you
There's a shortage of EMTs.
shortage of EMT, shortage of healthcare personnel across the board. So it hasn't affected our staffing, but it was just a long conversation he and I had about jet staffing in general. So, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is Councilman Case, and it's his last presentation to the board. Now, I didn't explain to him that it has to be memorable, especially since you're on TV.
There you go.
So, you know, if you want to call your wife and ask her what to say,
It's way too late for that.
it's way too late. Okay, so you're on your own now. Councilman Case.
I really, unfortunately, don't have a lot to report this week. There's just not a lot going on with rec. Basketball starts up. I went over there today. There were 4 people, busy as can be, with wrapping up the basketball signups and getting it going. There's, you know, they didn't even know how many kids at this point. But the games start December 15th, and it's rocking and rolling. I know basketball's, you know, thriving in this town. There was good example, there was 79 kids that tried out for 7th and 8th grade basketball in the middle school. 79 kids for 17 spots.
Wow.
So, I mean,
That's a lot.
basketball's, you know, it's big. It's big, it's going well, and I think, you know, a lot of that's driven by the rec and what they've done. So, all the programs have been great. There is a rec meeting next Monday. They'll discuss a few things. I know, Molly, a woman had contacted you about starting up pickleball, and she wanted to bring it to this board. And I thought I responded to her today that it was more appropriate probably for the rec board to handle that, and you know, they do the programming and stuff. It's not something.
Well, that would be the second person, because there was another person.
Yeah, I
That-
spoke to a man.
Yeah, as a gentleman.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe it
Yeah.
was. I said,
Diane's
you know.
already has her finger on the
Yeah.
pulse. Diane answered us, and Rec already
Yeah.
has some plans in their head about it. It's space.
Well, they want to do it indoors. I'm not
Yes,
sure that's
it's
happening.
space and lines.
I'm not sure that's, you know.
Yeah, Diane,
We talked about last summer doing it. I talked about it with Diane and Mike last year, outdoors.
Mhm.
It,
Yeah, it's pretty common to be outdoors.
yeah, do outdoors at the, you know, and just put lines. You have to go through the school and put lines on the tennis courts over there.
right, I think this gentleman wanted it indoors.
Yeah, I don't, you know. Right.
And it's just the space, and as Diane said, you gotta put the permanent lines down. We have to get permission for the lines. So it's not that they haven't thought of it, they're working on it.
Yeah.
Working.
Yeah, but it's a rec board thing.
Yeah.
So, and then I just want to say, you know, thank you to everyone on the board, people I've been on the board with in the past, and especially the town employees led by Rudy, for being. You know, this is 10 years I've been here, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful experience to see how everything works. When people say, "Oh, you're leaving politics," I'm like, I wasn't ever in politics. This is a volunteer position where you volunteer your time to try to make things better. There's nothing political about it. It's never really been a political agenda on this board. It's just volunteering to try to make the town better. And, you know, hopefully in the 10 years since I've been involved, I've done that.
Oh, you have.
Okay, so now I'm gonna help you here. He wants to report that senior citizen van is going to be delivered before the end of the year.
Oh, good.
Wow.
First I've heard of that.
Say that,
Right.
say that.
It only took 8.5 months to get it. That's great. Good.
Actually,
Good.
The, what do you call them?
The
The partitions
dividers.
are being done right now.
Okay, but
So-
we actually had the vehicle, access to vehicle. That's great.
So
Good.
that's one thing. Tim was the town clerk in 2012 through 2013. And then for some reason, the populace elected him to town council. So he was going up to Albany, and I didn't want him to go by himself. So I agreed to go up to Albany for that program that you spend 3 days up there. And by the second day, I was tired of having dinner with him. But he still made me have dinner with him. And I'm delighted to have you on the board, and I'm sorry to see you go, Tim. Thank you.
It's
Thanks
been
for
a
everything you
pleasure,
did.
Tim.
Yes.
Thank you
everybody.
for all your hard work.
Oh, I got a badge now. Oh my gosh.
Right there.
All right. Councilman Burke on the court and legal.
Sure, it's, kind of slow right now. They're gonna be closed for the last 2 weeks of December, and staff can take some remaining outstanding vacation days. Not much going on with trials as of yet, things are still really slow. The eviction moratorium has stayed, I guess, and through 1/15, but, they expect it to be stayed through the winter even, so, which I hadn't even realized. And they submitted the grant for the radios, and they're still waiting to hear back from that, from the OCA on that. I had brought up, recently, I did a webinar about open meetings law, and it was mostly related to the schools, but I just wanted to flag it here and make sure that everybody was aware of that. It was basically like the posting of documents has to be done like 24 hours in advance, and there's some circumstances if you didn't know about it or you didn't know you were going to talk about it and you post it last minute, but I guess I just want to make sure as the legal liaison, not the lawyer, but the legal liaison, that everybody, we're aware that this law is already in effect, that we're supposed to be posting, resolutions, laws, policies that are going to be discussed at the meetings in more than 24 hours in advance.
We talked about that, Molly. Thank you. Any other? That's it?
The only other thing is I happen to come across also this, and I think we're in compliance with this anyway, but another law signed by Governor Hochul was regarding the town clerk's signboard be posted on our website, and we have a full website, but I don't know exactly what's on our signboard. It's supposed to match whatever we would put here physically in the office. It's supposed to also be on our website.
So anything I post, we just put under news and notices.
Okay, okay.
there.
Okay.
Any legal posting?
Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, just flagging. I just happened to run across it when I was looking at the other law as well. So yeah, that's it for me.
Thank you. Councilwoman Curtin, hold it.
Oh no, I always forget this because we do not have the tax report for this month. We will have it next month, but I do have the justices reports for receivables. So we have for the month of October for Justice Kagan, he received an amount of $55,687. And for Justice Gardner for the month of October he received an amount of $22,863. Thanks, Molly.
Any other questions? Councilman Burke, what's going on with the library?
Curtin.
What did I say?
Councilman Burke.
Burke Bell.
So we had some discussions over this past weekend about the library and what was in the budget and the under over for 2021 and then what we're going to do in 2022. And other than that, I don't really have much to report on the library because I think it's our new
our new director.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? Our library meeting this week is this month. It's usually last week. It's tomorrow night. We have the town of Pelham Public Library has a new director of the library, Augusta Turner.
She has to be sworn in.
Yes.
She has to be sworn
You
in.
should be sworn in also.
Yes, you do. She's excited. Look, she's.
I had one thing, could I make an announcement? I was so excited. We just found out we got a grant from Arts Westchester. We applied. It's for performing arts, and it's for $1,800.
Great.
And what we're going to do is we're trying to figure out something to do outdoors for COVID. So in February, we're having a professional ice sculptor come, and he's going to make a giant chainsaws and chisels and
A pelican. No, only kidding. Only kidding.
What?
A pelican, right?
It's a
No.
pelican. How did you know?
It is really? Oh my God! Okay.
Yeah, so he's gonna do a giant pelican to commemorate, the 100th anniversary there. So
Oh,
we're really excited about it, and we're hoping to get a big crowd, and it's
That's cool.
COVID friendly outside.
Who was the grant from?
Arts Westchester, it's through the county,
Very nice.
it's a re-grant.
Okay.
Congratulations, and thank you for that, and I look forward to working with you and all the exciting happenings that are gonna be at the Town of Pelham Public Library. Thank you. And then I just wanna can I take 1 minute, are we gonna do this now?
No, go ahead, go ahead.
I just wanna use up the rest of my time to just say, I wanted to thank Councilman Case for his service. I wanted to say that in town, we may be seen as adversarial, but I've never ever had that experience with you. You've welcomed Kristen and myself. You've been nothing but helpful and generous, and I've really enjoyed working with you, and I just wish you all the best.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's,
Stuart, do I have to get up for this?
yes, you should get up.
Right.
Since you are the liaison.
I feel like George Bailey. It's a Wonderful Life. I'm like this, like.
All right, so just to start this, everybody knows this. In full disclosure, Augusta and I have known each other since 1989
Oh, wow.
from Prospect Hill.
Oh,
Right, but I was in California then, but I knew you.
I took their son to the Yankee game.
Yes,
And he had a broken wrist.
yes.
I remember that about Westchester. Anyway, so, Augusta, I,
I, Augusta Turner,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the
and
United
the
States
Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of Director of the Town of Pelham Library.
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of Director of the Town of Pelham.
Thank you. Congratulations. The other thing that you should know is I was one of the people on the board when we hired you. That was a long time.
Thank
No,
you.
that was a little while.
Done.
Thank you, Augusta. Okay. All right, a couple of housekeeping details. And this goes for the library as well, Augusta, by the way. A few years ago, maybe 5, 6 years ago, we used to get IDs, picture IDs. And I found out that Tom Burpee is still doing them downstairs, okay? If you want an ID, identifying yourself.
Oh, that'd be great.
So Tom, I'm gonna send everybody Tom Burpee's contact information, and you can set up something for him to get a town ID that explains who you are, and that's what that machine I didn't realize is owned by us too, we bought it.
Oh, good.
So I'll send out information. Do you still have your old one?
Yeah, I was just gonna pull it out to show everybody. It's actually nice looking.
Okay,
It does a nice job.
okay.
You don't look gross.
It's not a mugshot.
Yeah, it's not a mugshot. Thank you, Ken.
What's his name? What's his name that used to do, Richard,
I'm listening.
Richard, what was his name again? He used to do it first.
Rick Deere.
Rich Deere, right, okay. All right, so Tom has a resolution that we would like to pass, and the resolution is regarding the FEMA information that I sent to everyone. I sent you a report that each village and town in Westchester had to fill out. I sent it all to you previously. They're going to present it to FEMA down in Washington in January, and before they present it, they need each town and village to have a resolution to support what they're presenting. So Tom, could you?
Read it?
Yeah, please.
Sure. Resolution authorizing adoption of the 2022 Westchester County, New York Hazard Mitigation Plan update. Whereas all jurisdictions within Westchester County have exposure to natural hazards that increase the risk to life, property, and environment, and the county and local economy, and whereas proactive mitigation of known hazards before a disaster event can reduce or eliminate long-term risk to life and property, and whereas the Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000, Public Law 106-390, established new requirements for pre- and post-disaster hazard mitigation programs, and whereas a coalition of Westchester County municipalities with light planning objectives has been formed to pool resources and create consistent mitigation strategies within Westchester County. And whereas the coalition has completed a planning process that engages the public, assesses the risk and vulnerability to the impacts of natural hazards, develops a mitigation strategy consistent with a set of uniform goals and objectives, and creates a plan for implementing, evaluating, and revising this strategy. Now therefore, be it resolved that the town of Pelham adopts in its entirety the 2022 Westchester County Hazard Mitigation Plan as the jurisdiction's natural hazard mitigation plan, and resolves to execute the actions identified in the plan that pertain to this jurisdiction. Will use the adopted and approved portions of the plan to guide pre- and post-disaster mitigation of the hazards identified. Will coordinate the strategies identified in the plan with other planning programs and mechanisms under its jurisdictional authority. Will continue to support its support of the Mitigation Planning Committee as described within the plan. Will help to promote and support the mitigation successes of all participants in this plan. Will incorporate mitigation planning as an integral component of government and partner operations, and will provide an update of the plan in conjunction with the county no less than every 5 years.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? I'll just make, go ahead.
Just one thing that first of all, did you do the report, Dan? I mean, it was phenomenal, it was so detailed, I cannot imagine how long it took you to do that.
A long time.
One thing I noticed, which I was curious about, it didn't mention, as Ida having been listed as a recent hazard.
It was before Ida.
Okay,
The
the time frame,
was
okay.
Before Ida.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay,
That they mentioned other ones, but not Ida, because it was before Ida. And just so, who hasn't read it fully, I actually put in about the library downstairs, which is in a flood zone, and what we could do to get remediation in that area in the flood zone. I don't know if anything will happen with it, but that's one of the areas. And the other area I mentioned was, not mentioned, but put in, was the Children's Center area that gets flooded as well. I have to tell you, the Westchester government gave it out to a consulting agency, and I was back in high school. I was getting emails, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you haven't done this, you haven't done that, you need to do this, you need to do that.
Probably because if a period isn't in the right place, it'll be rejected by
And
the
that's
federal
that's
government.
exactly what they
And
said.
of course, because we
Exactly what
did
they
so many
said.
federal grants.
And this gentleman was phenomenal, because everything I sent him, he looked at, and then I saw there was a typo, and he said, well, that typo was all other places too, Dan. But anyway, do I have an approval?
I just wanted to say what Kristen was saying about how detailed it was and how thorough, but I also had a quick question. It said in the report there is a clerk of the works, and we were just wondering, who is the clerk of the works?
Phil DeSimo.
Phil
okay,
Eastman.
oh, that's right,
Yeah.
okay, interesting.
Phil DeSimo.
That's just the term.
Okay, that makes sense,
Yeah, no,
actually.
I'd seen the sign outside, but we never really use it, like when we talk about, Phil.
Because we don't really call him that,
No.
you know.
We call him Phil.
Clerk of the works.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passed unanimously. Okay. Second thing that I would like to propose a law. Law 2, number 2 for 2021. And the law concerns us making a program for CPACE, and I'm going to explain what it is. There's a corporation that channels private capital to commercial and nonprofit building owners to make energy upgrades to their buildings or build new construction to higher energy standards. Open CPACE enables them to improve their properties, lower operating expenses, and positively impact their communities. PACE is Property Assessed Clean Energy Financing. PACE is Property Assessed Clean Energy Financing. Is a public benefit authorized by state and local law with repayment secured through a benefit assessment lien on the improved property. Energy Improvement Corporation, EIC, is a nonprofit statewide local development corporation, and it administers the EIC open sea space on behalf of member municipalities. It differs from traditional bank loans because it's available for up to 100% of the project. It's competitive private financing from EIC-approved capital providers. It customizes loan terms up to the expected life of the improvement, which is generally 20 to 30 years. The benefit assessment lien is subordinate to all municipal taxes and senior to other liens. It automatically transfers the new owner upon sale of property. It is available for energy efficiency and renewable energy measures. So I sent all the board members all the background on this, and basically what I believe 90% of the villages and towns are included in this program. And what it in effect does is it gives developers the ability to look for financing if they're going to do construction, even new construction, and they're going to do with clean energy in mind. And it gives them a leg up with financing to get the project cost at a lower level. We, as a town, all we have to do is pass a local law, which I'm suggesting we pass now, which Tom put together and sent out to everybody. And the only thing we have to do is let them know if somebody is going to use this program, that they could put a lien on the property until it's paid off, but the lien is subordinate to any municipal taxes. Questions?
I just want to clarify one thing. I believe it's not available to villages. It's just that from what I read, it's countywide throughout the state, except for Westchester, it's townwide.
You're 100% right.
That's what it is, right? So
100%
if
right.
we
I'm
do
sorry.
this, it's for both villages.
Yeah.
They don't have to do anything
If
for us.
we don't do it, neither, that's correct.
And
I'm
they
sorry.
did present to us once in person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where they changed the program since.
Oh, it's changed?
What happened when they presented to us is we were going to collect the taxes,
Ah, I remember there was
the interest, and we said that we're not gonna be a bank.
right.
And they recognized that to be a problem, and they changed that all
They
around.
changed their whole system so that
Yeah.
more people would
Because
accept it.
nobody wanted to be a
Party-
bank.
Yeah, we should be us.
Yeah.
So I would like to propose local law 2 of 2021. So let me ask you a question. If I propose local law 2 for 2021, but it won't be approved until January,
I
does
think
it have
it's
to be
1 of
local law 1 of
22.
2022?
Yeah, I think
Tom?
so.
All right. So I'm proposing local law 1 of 2022 regarding CPACE.
So do we vote now?
No, public
No.
hearing will be in January, in the January meeting.
We can vote on it?
Mhm.
And Molly, do you have all the paperwork? I believe I sent it to you.
I'll check.
If not,
I can, if you don't.
Okay.
and then you'll post that. I believe, and I went to a seminar on it actually, and I had Tom and Joe on the phone with me when I spoke to the lady behind it, Sarah. And to me, it's a no-brainer. It's something we should be doing. And she had 2 developers call her from Pelham regarding the program. So that's how it got back onto the agenda. Okay? All right. Supervisors report. So we had, the town, in my opinion, had a tremendous November 27th Small Business Day. And we combined with the chamber to have the tree lighting, which was also tremendous, except it got out of control. So I had the tree lighting at 5:15, and at 4:45, I didn't know we had this many Girl Scouts. A gaggle of Girl Scouts took over the front of the townhouse along with their leader and started singing songs. And it was 34 degrees, and I didn't have, I won't say the heart, I didn't have the guts to say, you can't sing. You got to stay here for another half hour because I'm not lighting the tree till 5:15. One person said to me, you do that and you're going to be called the Grinch, the Grinch of Christmas. So it got out of hand, to be frank with you. I was saying to Ray, I know what I'll do, and the next time I'll take the megaphone from the Girl Scout leader and put it by me. Other than that, it was very, very nice. Santa Claus said it was the best day he's ever had in Pelham.
He's a wonderful
He was
Santa
the best
Claus.
Santa Claus we ever had.
Yeah,
He looked like Santa.
I think he thinks he is
He
Santa.
is Santa, right?
Okay.
he stayed with me the whole time to do the countdown.
Yeah,
Um,
did.
and he really did a tremendous job. And I can't say enough about him. I can't say enough about Shanice and her Christina, Shanice, and Stephanie and her group. They did a tremendous job, as far as I'm concerned, on organizing this. And I told her I apologize for the timing. She said, if that's the only thing that went wrong, Dan, we had a great day. So,
That's with the Chamber of Commerce, right?
yeah.
Yeah, not just that day. She's done a great job with everything
Oh,
she's done since she's
absolutely.
taken over.
She really
She really
has.
should be commended.
So we had that, and then we had on Tuesday, we had the menorah lighting.
Were there a lot of, I couldn't come, were there a lot of
Yeah,
people?
yeah.
So,
was
so,
phenomenal.
so let me ask you a question. How many people you think were there? Because you were there.
100 plus.
I was gonna say over 100.
Your son doesn't know how to count. Because I asked your son and he said 50. I said, there was way more than 50.
Yeah.
What they
Not the
did,
math major.
what they
It was
did,
because of the fire code.
He- the rabbi is very, I think, creative, okay? What he did last year, he had it in the back of Rockwell's, and you had to be in your car.
Oh.
And they dropped off bags into your car, and then they had music coming over the radio. This year, what he did is he went to stores up and down Fifth Avenue and gave them, and asked them to participate, and it became a scavenger hunt. So from 5 o'clock till 6 o'clock, the kids would show up here, they'd get the scavenger hunt map, they would get the goodie bag, and they would be told which stores to go down, up and down Fifth Avenue, which they did. They came back at 5 to 6 o'clock. They lit the, 2 years ago, the rabbi had let me and Peter light one of the candles. This one was the big Hanukkah, and it was like 8.5 feet high. And if he said to me, would you light one of the candles? There was no way I was lighting one of the candles, but he didn't ask me. And then he had some people, what he called the Maccabees, in costumes, and they did a light dance.
Oh, very creative.
It was very nice, it was very nice.
You have jelly donuts and latkes.
Oh, I'm sorry, they had the jelly donuts, the latkes, and all that other goodies that you could get, that you was sitting there. I thought,
It
and
was
Krista was
fantastic,
there,
yeah.
and we
We
both.
brought our kids, yep.
Yep.
Oh, we're half Jewish, so.
It was, it was very, very nice.
It was very well done.
What else?
Dan, can I just ask, the small business, did the chamber say like how really successful they were compared to previous, like, did they know, did our small businesses in the market like actually do well?
I mean, like
Just-
sales-wise?
Yeah, sales wise,
It's a good question.
I don't
They
know.
have not,
okay.
but I could ask
Yeah, I'd be really curious.
Christina
Because the
about that.
town was hopping, there's no doubt about it, I'm just curious.
It was hopping, is right.
Yeah,
They had a carriage ride with horses. They had a petting zoo. It was moving. Okay, anybody have any?
Thanks to whatever town employees volunteered that day too. I don't know how many town employees volunteered or did whatever they did, so thank you
Well,
to you guys.
The rec department was there, the recreation.
They were definitely
department
there,
The constables were there.
And one other suggestion about the tree lighting, we need to put a fence around the tree.
Absolutely.
Because there were parents, I'll say it, weren't watching their kids. And the kids were crawling under the tree while Dan's trying to light it. They had dogs there who they weren't watching the dogs. And the dogs were going under the tree. And I'm like, yeah, they just weren't paying attention to it. So kids, the dog, all right, you could pull back on the leash, but the kids, they were like, going and
And there are electrical outlets.
yeah, that's
under
what I
there,
was,
and that was part
and
of
the
the
tree
problem.
had a couple of, you know, so I was like, I don't know if it's the kid. I said to Dan, I don't know if it was the dog, the kids, I didn't know what it was happening in that. Yeah, it was bad.
It's kind of amazing to watch, and I watched it, that the parents were encouraging the kid to grab onto the light. And I just stood there and I said, why would you do that? Why would you do that?
It's generational, there's a generational.
So anyway, I
difference
told the
here.
rec department that we should put a fence around it the next time. Also, we had a meeting, Sam, myself, and Rudy, with the auditors over the 2020 financial statement, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And I can't say more than what the partner said. He thinks what we have done, Sam and the office here, to change how we do our financing, to change how we do our reporting, has grown so much in the last 2 years. He said it's exceptional. And I thank you, Sam, and I thank you, Rudy. They are a top-notch firm, as you know, and they were so complimentary. It was unbelievable. So thank you. Okay, any other, before I ask for public comment? Okay, public comment. Anybody have anything in public comment? That means you three. Yes.
I was wondering, this is Karen McLaughlin, 511 Manor Lane. Is the town eligible for funds from the American Rescue Plan Act?
No,
Just the villages?
I'll explain why.
Okay.
I thought we were. So I filled out all the forms, I did all the work, and I was looking to rebuild something, and we don't have any citizens. You have to have citizens to get that money. So if we had an unincorporated part of town,
Then we'd have those citizens.
then we'd have those citizens.
Like Rye and Rye Village.
So when I got that letter that said you have no citizens, my jaw dropped. And so it's only, they base it on the citizens that are in your jurisdiction. We don't have any independent citizens, so therefore, we were turned down for the money, but basically we weren't eligible for the money. But that's a good question, very good question. Any other comments? Yes?
Mariette Morris, C454 Pelhamdale. I just wanted to say about the pickleball. I'm on the YMCA board in New Rochelle, and we were just recently talking about we're going to be doing pickleball indoors, so maybe there's something that Pelham could do.
We
They're
could do that with
converting
them.
some of the Y to make pickleball courts
Okay,
indoors.
Perfect,
So
thank you.
just let them know. Jennifer Sasswell, they can contact her.
okay. Yeah, they do, they already do some other programs over there.
Oh, yeah, so that would
Teen
be
nights and
great.
things,
So
so.
I think
That's a
they're-
great idea,
It's on Fest.
because she wants to do more with us as well.
Yeah, so the pickleball thing, I know they're very excited about it. I just heard about it.
That's a
today.
great
Great.
idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.
You'll mention it?
Yep.
Great idea,
I can do it right now.
great idea. Any other comments? Do I have a motion to